story. So today, Mark has a story for us, and he's going to share his most memorable Christmas. His most memorable Christmas, Mark Berry.
Thank you, Karen. Hello, everybody. My most memorable Christmas was also the poorest Christmas that I've ever had. You see, I was living in San Francisco, where I was born and grew up, and I met a young lady there, and we fell in love, or at least we fell in lust, and we thought we were in love. We were too young to know the difference, barely in our 20s, and we were starry-eyed in love and poor as the proverbial church mouse. We were both going to college full time. We both had part-time jobs. And where we lived together as newlyweds was an apartment in San Francisco. But we couldn't even afford a one-bedroom apartment. So we lived in what they call a junior apartment, which is like a studio with a little L where the bed goes. And we were poor. I think Church Mouse had it over us with the poor department. And it's Christmas time. Christmas is coming up. We have no money for buying cards. We have no money for buying stamps, let alone gifts and wrapping and the usual things that families do at Christmas. And we were looking forward to this very meager Christmas. And a week before Christmas, when I took the trash out of our apartment, there by the big trash bins was a tree, a beautiful cut green Christmas tree, just about 7 feet tall, which just fit in our 8-foot ceiling of our little junior apartment. And we had very little furniture, so there was no problem finding room for the tree. Well, I was just excited beyond belief that we've got a tree of all things. And so we brought it in and we put it in the place of honor in our little junior apartment. But now what to do? We didn't have any money for ornaments or lights or anything like that. We had plenty of time. And so we put our heads together and we thought, I know what would be good. Let's invite a couple of friends over and let's have a tree trimming party. And instead of ornaments and lights, we'll pop some popcorn and we'll get some thread from that little tiny emergency sewing kit, with the little strings of thread. So we got that. We were all ready for our tree trimming party, and we invited 3 of our good friends over who happened to be available the weekend before Christmas. And we also found some colored construction paper. And we remembered from the 2nd grade that you could take colored construction paper and you could cut it into strips, and you could scotch tape those strips together and make a chain of multicolored construction paper. And we thought, well, that would be colorful. And besides, that's the best we can do. So we bought a $2 gallon of wine. This is back in the 1970s when you could do that. And I think it was called Red Mountain, if I remember correctly. And so we had a gallon of wine, which was going to be our